So here are the questions that I've been sent. And it looks like all of them are out of 1.4, which is good. That means everybody's working on their homework. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put it in order by subject. And hopefully they'll be in order. Everybody's sending me 35. So let's see. This is question. I got 3 people sending me number 35 in the book, which is like number 14 in your homework. So let's look at that one. First of all, is this a test question? Oh, yeah. Anything with the difference quotient is a test question. So you can bet your bottom dollar if it's difference quotient, it's going to be on the test. And naturally, it's going to be on the standardized test too. Okay, so I'm going to hit my handy dandy do-jigger here. We're going to put that right there. I'm going to extend it a little bit. And there. And let me fix that shade right quick because that light is coming in. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the question, and I'm going to say, let's see, I want to rewrite, I'm thinking out loud. I'm going to write f of x plus h. I'm going to write that in magenta. I know you can't tell it really, but that's a kind of a reddish magenta color. I should have used something else. And I'm going to use a green minus f of x. Put that in green brackets. I'm going to use another color besides that magenta. It's pink. There we go. And that's all going to be over h. And I'm not really worried about the h. I'll just put that in black. Okay. Now, they're giving us 4x squared f of x is equal to 4x squared plus 8. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this with a big set of parentheses. So 4 parentheses squared plus 8, and that goes in brackets. Minus brackets. And what is f of x? Well, f of x is 4x squared plus 8. And all that over h. And what do we do here? Well, anytime you got something in x plus 8, you got something in parentheses here, that means you're going to plug that into the function. So I'm going to plug x plus h into this function. And now you're ready to do your algebra. So that's going to give us 4 times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, shortcut number 1, plus 8 minus the things I do for y'all, all these colors, animation, 4x squared plus 8, all that over h. Okay, now, as I tell them in calculus, now it's nothing but algebra. You'd be surprised on how many students walk into calculus and have never seen this before. Have never seen it before. So you can just imagine what would happen in calculus if you've never seen this. So now it's just algebra. So go ahead and do this. I'm going to switch papers. Hold on a minute. I'm going to do origami. Give me a second to do my origami. Well, I'm gonna just do the second and third part. There we go. There you go. So now that's going to give us 4x squared plus 8xh plus 4h plus 8 minus 4x squared minus 8 all over h. Now, what's supposed to happen is your x terms, your primary x terms should cancel. 4x squared cancels with that 4x squared, and 8 cancels with 8. Now, sometimes your whole numbers will cancel, sometimes they won't. But your x terms will cancel. That's supposed to happen. Supposed to happen. Now you're left with just the h terms, and you should be able to factor an h and the top out. And I'm going to go ahead and do that in one step. So I'm going to put an h right here, and that's going to leave 8x plus 4h over h, and your h will cancel, and that does happen all the time. So your final answer for algebra is 8x plus 4h. Now, that's your answer for algebra. In calculus, you're going to get rid of that h term because it's going to go to 0, and you're going to be left with 8x, which is the derivative of the original function. Now, I'm just telling you that for your information. For some of you that had pre-calculus, you know what I'm talking about with the derivative. Okay? So, but this is the answer. This is the algebraic answer. Okay, that's your answer for this test. For those of you that had pre-calculus, limit as h approaches 0 will give you 8x plus 4h. The 4h will cancel, and 8x is your derivative of the original function. That's calculus. That's what you're heading toward. Your first unit test is to do this and get this answer. That's your first unit test in calculus. Okay? So, very important. This is a test question, so let's write the answer down. 8x plus 4h. 8x plus 4h. And you should feel good about it. Something is going on with my computer today. My keyboard is not working. 8x plus 4h. And you should feel good about yourself. Now, I guarantee you there's somebody in this room that is going, I have never seen that before in my life. Okay? Don't feel bad, because there's a lot of people that walk into calculus the first day and have never seen the difference quotient. So don't feel bad. And you have people sending in homework questions with it, so you get extra exposure. So that's that one. That's for Mr. Justice. Okay.
Yes, thank you. You actually answered a lot of my questions.
So let's do Mr. Melnick's now. This is 1.43514. Now, the reason I'm doing these, even though they're the same, is because they're important. Very important. On a scale from 1 to 10, the difference quotient for your calculus is like a 15. So let's do it again. I'm gonna let y'all get a head start on it. Go ahead and start. I'm gonna write everything down, and then I'll put it on the screen. So f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 6. So I'm going to take my different colors and I'm going to rewrite 2 parentheses squared plus 6 close parentheses minus f of x, which is going to be 2x squared plus 6. All that over h. And we always plug in an x plus h. Now, just so y'all understand where everything comes from, f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. That's the difference quotient. Okay, now it's up to y'all with your extensive knowledge in algebra. You should be able to knock this out. Go ahead and take a minute. I'm going to give you a minute. If you can't do it, we all know what that means. You're supposed to fill in the blanks. Let's see. Clock start.
So I know we're not doing the calculus version, but to get the calculus answer, all you do is set h equal to 0, or?
Well, it's called the limit. In other words, have you ever had exposure to the limit theory, like in pre-cal or anything?
No, sir.
Imagine this. Let's say that you're standing 10 feet from a wall, and I tell you to take a step toward that wall, and every step after that, you take half the previous step. Will you ever reach the wall?
Yes.
No, you will not. Mathematically, you won't. Okay, you'll approach the wall mathematically, but you never will meet it. Okay, and you got to think mathematically, not physically, because physically you think, well, God, I'll touch the wall. No, you won't, because the whole thing about a limit is if you take half the previous step. Let's say your first step is 4 feet, then your second step will be 2 feet. Your third step will be 1 foot, 1 foot, half a foot, a quarter of a foot, an eighth of a foot, a 16th of a foot, a 32nd of a foot, a 64th of a foot, a 128th of a foot. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
So each step is a fraction of the previous step. You never will reach the wall. That's the limit theory. You approach 0, but you never touch it. Okay? And you'll get into that with calculus. So the limit is x approaches 0. Yes, you plug in 0 in your head, but you actually don't approach. You approach 0, you never touch it. And that's the limit theory. And that's what so yes, technically you plug in 0, but you approach 0. But yes. Okay, that's 2.5 minutes.
Thank you.
Did that on purpose to give you more time. All right, so let's go with 2x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 6. I'm going to skip a step here, and I'm going to go ahead and distribute that negative. Trying to save a little bit of room. all over h. Okay, so that's going to give us 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared plus 6 minus 2x squared minus 6 all over h. And as you can see, the 2x squared and the 6 cancel. And that leaves us with an h. I'm going to factor out an h on the top. And that's going to leave us with 4x plus 2h all over h. And the 2h's cancel. And the algebraic answer is 4x plus 2h. And when you get to calculus, it's going to be 4x plus 2 times 0, which would be 4x. But your algebraic answer is 4x plus 2h. Another test question. Good job. And yes, we're going to do the third one. And what some of y'all are going to find out is, hey, I can do this. Yes, called what's it called? Practice. Yeah, it's called practice. 1.435/14.
I was confused on what you were saying.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. Yeah. Usually I do it with WORK word, but usually sometimes I do it with practice. Remember plankton, teamwork, Tim. Oh, shut up, Hubert. I love SpongeBob, so teamwork. Some of y'all are going, hey, I remember that. That was the movie. Yeah, teamwork. Okay, f of x is equal to 4x squared plus 8. And f of x plus h minus f of x over h. And then there's some people in here that are going, you know what? I did this in algebra and didn't understand it. Now I'm understanding it. That's a good thing. And what it is, it's the pink and the green that's making you learn it. That's what it is. So 4 parentheses squared plus 8 minus brackets 4x squared plus 8 divided by h. Four x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 8 minus 4x squared minus 8 over h. Four x squared plus 8xh plus 4h squared plus 8 minus 4x squared minus 8 over h. Take our handy dandy red pen and factor out of h. And your answer is 8x plus 4h. Now, I'm just curious, how many, and just raise your hand, how many of you have seen this but never understood it? And now you understand it a little bit better.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but
Yeah,
I
so-
understand it.
Some people have seen it. How many of you have never seen it? Okay, I'm getting a few that's never seen it. Some of y'all didn't participate, so I don't know. Don't whine when you have questions. Won't participate in class, so. All right, so that's that question. Let's see if we got it right. Let's see, 8x plus 4h. 8x plus 4h. And we feel good about ourselves. Now, we just went over 3 good test questions right there. All right, this is 1.441, 43, so I don't have any repeats. Got 1 repeat right there. So here's these are 2 single questions. Okay, 1.4, 41 in the book, number 16 online. First of all, is this a test question? I have no idea. I guess it could be. It says, a business used straight line depreciation to determine the value of Y of a piece of machinery over a 10-year period. Okay. Suppose the original value when t is equal to 0 is equal to 46,000. That means that the y-intercept is 46,000. And its value is reduced by 4,600 each year. Write the linear equation that models the value of the machinery within a part T. Okay, first of all, we're going to draw this because you got to draw it so you can understand it. Okay, it says a straight line, so we know that's what? Linear. So we know this is going to be x to the first. So we know we can apply all those things we learned in Algebra 1 and 2 with the slope and the point slope equation, I hope. Okay. Suppose the value, so 0 is equal to $46,000. Okay. And its value is reduced by 4,600 each year. So that means its slope, I would say slope is equal to 4,600. Negative. It's reduced. So it'd be negative. Now, I don't know. I'm reading this question as, and it's reduced by 4,600 each year. So that's what I would say. So y minus 46,000 is equal to negative 4,600 times x minus 0. Because this point right here is 0, 46,000. So that's y sub x sub 1, y sub 1. Point slope equation, y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Now that's the way I'm reading this question. So y minus 46,000 is equal to negative 4,600x plus 0. Y is equal to negative 4,600x plus 46,000. Now that's what I come up with. y is equal to, oops, I'm sorry, you can't see, sorry. Because they don't give you very much information. They give you the y-intercept, and they give you what I assume is the slope. I would like to see a rate of change, something like that wording, but it says it's reduced 4,600 each year, so that tells me it's a slope. Let's check it and see. Y is equal to negative 4,600 x plus 46,000. Doesn't help to have the same numbers either. Okay, I've got something wrong. Let's see what they got. Whatever. I didn't put the T. I'm sorry. Crucify me. Sorry. On that, I don't really care if you have a T or an X. Okay.
Is that did you say that's gonna be a test question?
Yeah, it could be a test question, yes, because it covers the review. That's basically Algebra 1, Algebra 2, slope and y-intercept. So you should be able to take the y-intercept and the slope and plug it into the point slope equation. The only difference is they write it in a paragraph instead of a mathematical sentence. Next question, make sure you put the T. Okay. Delete. 1.443 in the book. Number 17 online. Assume that the growth of the membership of a country club was linear, ding, 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 from 1996 to 2000, with a membership of 234 in 1996 and a random growth of 740 per year. Okay, same type question, just a little bit different. Okay, it says assume the growth rate of membership of country club was 1996. Okay, so 1996, technically that's zero, all right? 1996 is zero. So if you wanted to draw a picture of this, I'm trying to figure out how the best way. 1996 is technically zero. This is 1997, 1, 1998, everybody with me? 2, and so on to what? 2000? And 2000 would be what? 99. And 2000. Okay, now it says that in 1996, you had a membership of 234. Zero comma 234. And it's growing at a rate of 740 per year. So 740, and it says it's growing 740 per year. So that means this is equal to the slope. Now, take this information that I just gave you with the previous question and find out what is the equation for the line starting at 0,234 and going up at a rate of 740 per year. What is that equation? Well, that's going to be y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Excuse me. Y minus 234 is equal to 740 times x minus 0. Y minus 234 is equal to 740x. Y is equal to 740x plus 234. Now make sure they might want a t. I don't know if they want a t. Let's see. It says number of x years, so the x. So this is going to be, it says write an equation, number of x years after. So this is going to be 740x, 740x plus 234. Use the function to estimate the membership in 2002. Go back to the, hold on, I'm trying to find my, there we go. So they want to know 2002. So this is 2000, this is 2001, and 2002. X would be what? 6. So plug 6 in. This is part A. Excuse me, I'm yawning. So Y is equal to 740 times 6 plus 234. And let's get our handy dandy calculator out. I had it in the last class. Where is it? There it is. And that's going to give you 740
4674
times 6 plus 234. Is that what you got? 4674, is that what you got?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's your answer. It should be. So let's go back to the question. Let me write it down because I'll forget it. 4674. So the country club or whatever it's called will have a membership of close to 5,000. $46.74. That's a good test question. Okay, so that's 1.443. 1.445/18. A business uses straight line depreciation to determine the value Y of an automobile over a 9-year period. Suppose that the original value, when t is equal to 0, is equal to 19.5. So there's your y-intercept right there. And the salvage rate, t equals 9, is equal to $6,000. Draw a picture. They give you 2 points here. You got to read that second part. The salvage value when t is equal to 9 is equal to 6,000. So they give you 2 points. Got to read it carefully. You ever have a yawning fit where you can't stop yawning? I got plenty of sleep. All right, so draw a picture. We know that this is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we know that this point is 19.5. And we know that this point at 9 is 6,000. Is it 6,000? Yeah. So they basically give you 2 points in a line. So if you want to translate this back to a pre-algebra problem, 0, 19.5, 9, 6,000. Calculate the slope and the equation. I mean, that's basically what you have. I don't care what the question's asking. This is what you have. You got to find an equation. This is x of 1, y sub 1. This is x of 2, y sub 2. All right, you got 2 minutes. You got 2 points. Calculate the slope. One more minute. Okay. So, M, this pen is dead. M is equal to 6,000 minus 19.5 over 9 minus 0. Okay, so take your handy dandy calculator. And you want to make sure you do it right. That's why 6,000
Negative 13.
minus 19.5. And that's negative 13.5. So this is our new slope. So the slope of this line is negative 13.5 divided by 9.
Negative 15.
Negative 1,500. Now that's part one. Part two is find an equation. So I'm going to set it up just like a test question. M is equal to negative 1,500. And I give you a 0.0195. And the directions say find an equation. Y minus 19.5 is equal to negative 1,500 times x minus 0. Y minus 19.5 is equal to negative 1,500x minus 0, or plus 0. Negative times negative is positive. Doesn't matter. And then y is equal to negative 1,500x plus 19.5. And that's the equation for depreciation over years. X is equal to years since 19 or whatever it said. I can't remember everything it said. Hold on. Let's go back to the question. Over a 9-year period. By how much has the automobile depreciated over 9 years? Well, over 9 years, it's depreciated 19 minus 6, $1,300. Okay, this well, you got to do the actual math. 19.5, I think we did that right there. 13.5. So 13.5 over the last 9 years. The value of the automobile is reduced by I don't understand the question. 13.5. By the way, I'm reading that question. Unless they want 6,000.
Yeah, they want.
Okay, I don't like that question. It don't make any sense. 1,500. That's the no. It should say the rate of change or the slope or it is decreasing by $1,500 each year. That's what it should say. The linear equation model is y is equal to, or s is equal to, negative 1,500x, or I don't know, t, plus 19.5. That second question is misleading. I don't like the way it's worded. And if y'all know what I'm talking about, I hope you do. The value of the automobile is reduced by $1,500 at the end of, no, at each year. I'll take the 9 years off and say at the end of each year. That makes better sense. But maybe I didn't read the question right. I don't know. That's how you answer that question. That's the slope. Remember, B right here is the slope. What is the slope? That's probably what you got wrong. Whoever sent this. I don't like the way that second question's worded. But what am I? I'm just a math teacher. Delete. Same question. Do we need to go over that one again? That's just if you want to. What do you think? Mr. Melnick, you sent this one. You want to go over it again?
No, I think I got it. Thank you.
You sure you got it? Okay. And this is 53, 1.4, 53 in the book, number 19 online. This word problem put me to sleep. Monthly Social Security benefits differ with the age a recipient decides to start receiving benefits. Recipients whose monthly benefits are 2620, if benefits start being paid at full retirement age of 77, if benefits can have their benefits increased by $130 per month for each year after 77. They delay starting their benefits. Note that the monthly benefit does not increase if the starting age is after 80. Okay, so it looks like right now you're going to start from 77, and that would be 0. And then you would have 1, 2, 3, 4 after 1977. And this is 2620, and then maybe 130x plus 2620 or something like that. I don't know. Write a linear function that models the monthly benefits as a function of x, which benefits are started from the year 77 to 80. Monthly social benefits with the age of recipients decide to start receiving monthly benefits of 2620. It looks like to me that they are starting at 2620. It looks like. That's what I would assume. I'm trying to figure out where they're getting the 7390 from. I understand the 130x. I'm looking, hold on. Monthly Social Security benefits different with age, blah, blah, start receiving benefits. Recipients whose monthly benefits are 2620. I don't know necessarily how they get in that. Write a linear function that models the monthly benefits as a function of age, such as benefits has started.
I think what they did is put the total of like 130 times or they did the 20 and tried to get the final answer.
I know. I'm trying to figure out how to set it up because to me, I'm going to show you how I read it. It looks like to me that I guess the 7390 is throwing me off. Just I'm not gonna look at that. They got at 77, which is 0, your benefits, it sounds like to me, is 2620. Am I reading that correctly to y'all?
Yeah.
Okay. At 2620. And then we have for 2 or 3 years, 78, 79, and 80. Okay. Well, it's got 130. Your rate is going at 130 I'm trying to get everything here where you can see it.
Yeah, so the slope would be 130.
130. So that would be M is equal to 130. So therefore, y minus 2620 is equal to 130 times x minus 0. And that will give you 2620 coming over. That's going to give you y is equal to 130x plus 2620. But they're saying the answer is almost double that.
Yeah.
See, and I understand the 77 to 80. I don't understand this. I don't understand the 7390. Let me see what they're doing here.
Even if you double 2620, it only comes out to 5240.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're doing here unless they're doing everything I told you to do. I'm looking, just hold on. They're using 77, not 0. Yeah. They're using the average, they're using the actual age. But that's still not right because 77, I don't understand where they're getting the 7390.
Well, if you take, there's 3 years difference between that. So if you take 2620 and times that by 3, then you get 7860.
Huh. I appreciate you trying, but that 7390 just doesn't look right.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't really know how.
I'm gonna come back to this one. We're gonna come back to this one. I need to print this one out.
Because like I solved it myself. It's just like I don't understand the 7090.
I'm gonna come back to this one. I may do a video on it after I figure it out, but I got to look at that one. That don't look right. It should be y is equal to 130x minus. It should be plus. That don't look right.
Yeah, and you're right too.
It says increase.
It should be
130
x plus 2620. You're not wrong because it's just asking for the slope and the value.
Yeah. Let me come back to that one. I need to work on that one after class. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, somebody sent another question. Let's see, what is this one? Oh, the same one. Thank you, Miss Hollister. Thank you for sending another one. I appreciate it. I'll look at both of them. And this is 1.49/4. This one put it out of order, but we'll do it. 9/4. Okay, this is a test question, and it put it out of order. So, of course, now you should be able to do it after the questions that we've been over. But let's go ahead and do it together. So here we go with hold on. There we go. All right, so we got 2 points, -2 and -9 and -5 and -1. And I don't even care what they're asking because I can guarantee you they're going to ask you one, to calculate the slope, and then they may ask you to find an equation. I'm going to do both and then we'll look see what they ask, because I can tell you right now on test, I'm going to ask you to do both. So to calculate the slope, m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, which is equal to parentheses minus parentheses over parentheses minus parentheses. Which way do we read? Left to right. X sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. So that's going to be negative 1 minus a negative 9, negative 5 minus a negative 2. This is where those parentheses come in handy. So negative 1 plus 9 is 8. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So m is equal to negative 8/3. Oh, excuse me. Whew. So now the second part, y is equal to negative 2, negative 9. That's our point, sorry. And m is equal to negative 8/3. And this is the second part. So y minus parentheses equals parentheses times x minus parentheses. And I put a negative 9 here, and a negative 8/3 here, and a negative 2 here. Y plus 9 is equal to negative 8/3 times x plus 2. Y plus 9 is equal to negative 8/3 x plus 16/3, be a minus, sorry, minus 16/3. Bring this 27/3 over. So the final answer is y is equal to negative 8/3 x minus, I have no idea, what is that, 43/3? 7 and 16. 7 and 6 is 13. Bring you 1, 2, 3. I think that's right. Let's type. Oh, there it is right there. 8/3 minus 43/3. Now, see, that one wasn't a problem, and we did that one, that last one. I got that one written down. Well, I'm going to have to research that one. And it won't be the first time that there's been a wrong answer or something I've misunderstood on a homework question. There will be plenty more. There have been plenty in the past. There'll be plenty more in the future. Okay? So that's the homework questions for today. And that's going to be it. I'll go over that one Thursday. Thursday, we will probably team in again. Like I say, I've got my son this week, so I'll probably be teaming this week. And next week, I'll probably meet with y'all on Tuesday, and we'll team Thursday. I'm going to go to a 1-and-1, okay? And maybe that'll keep some of y'all from having to drive so much. And, well, you don't have to drive much because this is so. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't meet with y'all. I'm thinking of the 8 o'clock class. The 8 o'clock class is face-to-face, so we'll just keep teaming like we're doing. Oh, sorry. Okay, now, it looks like that's 1.4, so we're going to move on to 2.1. Let's look at 2.1, and let's look at some of these things that are happening in 2.1. I just need to look at the section in the book just to see what it's going over and see what it looks like. Looks like they're continuing on with functions in the graphing area, if it'll ever come up. Yep, they're continuing with the linear. Okay, solving an equation. That's not a big deal. Okay, yeah, these are more modeling problems. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one right here, this example. And the reason I want to look at this one is it is a fraction, and most of y'all will shut down during a fraction, so that's nothing unusual. So here we go with 2x minus 3 over 4 equals x over 3 plus 1. Now, what would you do in a case like this? Well, the first thing you should do when you come to a problem that's a fraction, number one thing, clear the fraction. That's the number one thing that you want to do. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 12. Because the common denominator of 3 and 4 is 12. Now I'm going to put a baby step in here for you. And now you can just do your algebra. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that's going to cancel to a 3. So that's going to be 3 times 2x minus 3 equals 12. That'll cancel to a 4. 4 times x is 4x. And 12 over 1 is 12. Now you can finish it. Take 30 seconds and finish it. Okay, so 3 times that'd be 6x minus 9 equals 4x plus 12. Bring this 4x across the river. Take the 9 across the river. And that's going to give you 12, that'd be 21. X is equal to 21 over 2. I guarantee you there's somebody in this room that you saw that and you went, I don't know how to do it. Okay? Always, when you are dealing with fractions or decimals, always clear them before you get started. Unless you just like punishment. All right, let's look at that next example. Y over 5 minus 1/2 y over 2 equals 7 over 20. Well, before you start on this one, you need to simplify as much as you can because it's written kind of weird. First thing I would do is simplify this middle section. So that's going to be y over 5 minus y over 4 equals 7 over 20. Now you got something you can work with. Multiply through by 20. So I'm going to put a 20 over 1 here, a 20 over 1 here, and a 20 over 1 here. I just skipped a step. Multiply through by 20. And that's going to give you a 4 here, and a 5 here, and the 20s cancel. That leaves a 7 here. So looks like to me you've got 4y minus 5y is equal to 7. 4y minus 5y is negative y is equal to 7. Divide by negative 1, y is equal to negative 7. Nothing but manipulation of an algebraic equation. So let's check our answers to see if we got what they got. And the first one, where is it? Right here, is this the one we just did? 9/2. They got 9/2. Huh. Oh, no, they did. 21/2 right there. They checked it. And the second one, they got -7. All right, look at here. A decimal. What they're telling you to do is clear them. That's what they're trying to get you to understand. So this decimal says y, wait a minute, solve for x. That's out of place. Solve for y, solve for x, whatever. C, I thought they want you to solve for the, whatever. Solve for x, solve for x if y is equal to 0.72. And the equation is y is equal to 1.312x minus 2.56. This is an out of place question. It should be asking you to solve by clearing the fraction, but clearing the decimal. But anyway, if y is equal to 0.72, that means I'm going to plug it in here. 1.312x minus 2.56. We got to get rid of 2.56. So we take it across the river, and it becomes 2.56 positive. So that's going to be 8, 7, and 6 is 13, bring you 1. 3.38 is equal to 1.312x. Divide by 1.312. Divide by 1.312. And that's going to be 3.38 divided by 1.312. 2.576. ... that's not the question I was looking for. I was looking for something like this. 0.32x plus 0.64 is equal to 0.37 plus 2x. Now in this case, I've got a bunch of decimals and I'm solving for x. First thing I would do is multiply everything by 100. Why? Because each place, the furthest place value is the 100th. So I'm going to multiply everything by 100. If it was the 10th place, then you would multiply everything by 10. The 1000th place, you'd multiply everything by 1000. So that's going to move the decimal each time. So that's going to be 32x plus 64 equals 37 plus 200x. And now you just got a algebraic problem. So I'm going to take the 32 across the river and 37 across the river. And 64 minus 37 is 27. And 200 minus 32 is what? 168. So that should be it. Okay. All right, before y'all start having convulsions, let me look and see what time it is. It's about time to go. So you should be able to at least start a few problems on 2.1. It's nothing but solving equations and continued graphing. We haven't got into the new stuff yet. You should be finishing up 1.1 through 1.4 because I see people are on 1.4, so that means the rest is doable. Now, I don't know. I'm sending me questions. I didn't see anything on 1.1 through 1.3, so evidently everybody knows that. Now, the ones that are losing out are the ones that haven't done any work. If you haven't done anything, then you're going to be in trouble when I'm on chapter 2 and you're doing chapter 1 material. So anyway, let me shut this down and let me turn off the, yes.
I'm seeing on the My Lab that don't